Good morning and welcome to Wakefield's COVID update on April 23rd, 2021. We have some good numbers we're looking at now. And before I send it to Ruth and the other experts on the call, I can report that we are status yellow, which is great, heading towards, hopefully the goal is green. We are trending down. Our positivity rate is 3.05%. Which is down from 3.52% a week ago. What I think a really exciting number is 54% of our residents have at least one dose of vaccine in them, which is just fabulous. And I know, clearly that's probably tracking a lot of our elderly residents, those that are my age and up. And, I'm sure a lot of us with teenagers or certainly young 20s children are realizing that they're able to get their vaccines much easier recently. So it's all good news. From a town council standpoint, we're excited to see some of our businesses embrace outdoor dining, which won't go away when COVID goes away, because I think it's something that everyone has enjoyed. So that's exciting to see happen. So all good. I mean, things are happening well. We can certainly watch the news and see nationally trends go down as well in a lot of states. So it's a nice to report this and to cover this meeting during these numbers. I will now send it over to Ruth and then Tom to give some more details. Oh.
Sorry. You'd think after all this time I would have it right. Yes, thank you. So yes, things are going well. Our numbers are coming down. We do post our daily numbers on our website, which I give to Jen every Thursday. And the last 2 months had been a little iffy as we've been reporting, but the last we've been doing it by week, and the last week we are starting to come down. So that is good news. But again, because it's my job, I have to remind everybody that we are not out of the woods, and that the cases that we are seeing are younger people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, which I still consider younger people. Of course, they're the group that haven't been vaccinated yet. So again, the mask wearing and social distancing is just super important. That is the way to help minimize your risk. And everybody has different risk levels, as we've seen. But we're not over yet. And if we can hang in there and keep doing what we've been doing, we can get ahead of things. So as everybody knows, anybody over 16 and over is eligible to be vaccinated, depending on which vaccine you get. And later today, actually in about a half an hour, we're expecting a press conference from the state, or actually from the feds, about J&J, and then the state will meet after the feds make their announcement. However, we have completed our housing authority buildings. Both, we've been using Moderna there, and they have completed as of this week both doses. We have completed all of the first doses for homebound. Because we switched from J&J to Moderna, they still need second doses. But we have completed our first round. We had said all along that we were going to do homebound through April. That's really based on volume, and because, as everybody now knows, that the Moderna is 10-dose vials, you need 10 people to give. We just don't have enough demand to have 10 people available to vaccinate. So at this point, we'll be referring people. We were doing it as of May 1st, and maybe a few days earlier than May 1st, that we'll be referring people to the state program. That way there's enough volume for them to actually get vaccinated in a timely manner. So, so that's all good. And I think that's about it. That's things are going well. Ha. Now
It happens to me all the time because I want to keep myself muted so I'm not distracting. Thank you so much, Ruth, for everything, absolutely everything you've done through this entire pandemic and elsewhere. Tom, do you have anything to add? Oh, sorry, Ruth, did you want to say something? No, okay. Tom?
Yes, hello. Yeah, all the numbers seem good. I looked over the state's numbers. The best number I saw was that the fatality rate is the lowest it's been since the pandemic really kicked in. So it's under 9 people per week. We like to get it to 0, but right now it's the lowest it has been. So that's a good sign. As far as the town goes, we started last week opening up for more hours at town hall. We also, the library will be opening very shortly. We're just going to install some preventative measures there so that, and they'll start doing appointments for the public. So some good things that are going to be happening. The only side is that we had this week is the school week. And so as everybody returns and there was a lot of traveling going on, I hope that I'm cautiously optimistic that our numbers don't rise, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. As am I, because I know people definitely didn't stay put necessarily for their vacation. So that will be interesting. Laurel, did you want to add anything? You said you had jumped on a DPH call.
Yeah. So I'm not always able to get to those. So I always sort of see them as kind of the middle ground of Ruth, who's swimming in this stuff, and so stuff doesn't percolate to being new. I just wanted to clarify. So today's meeting was more about from the Department of Education and early childhood education. And they're being really smart. They're following good guidelines. The one caveat I would say is because people are a little confused about why we talked about 3 feet versus 6 feet. And just remember, I don't think people hear it. That's if you're masked. So all of these in-school protocols really depend on proper masking. And again, it just warrants repeating that, we're not out of it. They also made, an interesting comment about the variants. Massachusetts is still about 60% non-variant cases. And as you probably heard, the Cape has some variant clusters. And we talk about the variants being a little bit more transmissible, but DPH once again reminded everybody this is all about human behavior. It is all about human behavior. There's nothing magic about the variant. I do know that in the regular press, there's talk about some breakthrough COVID, even though people are vaccinated or between first and second vaccination. So again, these vaccines have better numbers than anything we've had in history, but we don't get to 0 like we did, or near 0 like we did with polio, until everybody gets vaccinated. And so you just keep diminishing the risk. The breakthrough is absolutely predictable. So again, human behavior is it. That's all we have. So so people may start to get a little confused about what those mean. And DESE has put out a booklet, as has early childhood, that can be looked at on the DPH website.
Great. Thanks so much, Laurel. I don't think there's anyone who's thoughtful or intellectually not challenged who just suggests that masking you have to wear a mask when you're inside. Unless there are several people, you're all vaccinated in a small group in a house or something like that. But if you're shopping, if you're going to a restaurant, if you're in school, I teach through a mask. Masking inside is still critical, as you all said. So I think if people continue to do that and be safe, we can see some semblance of normalcy in the not too distant future. Are there any other comments from folks on the coalition?
I can just fill in for Doug for a minute. Superintendent
Please.
Lyons is hopefully on vacation, although I talked to him today and he's working, but he couldn't be on the call today. But we did update the numbers on the dashboard, only 2 student cases, but it is vacation week. So please remember, depending on whether you know, how long you were out of the state, where you went on vacation. I did put in the link, or go to mass.gov and check out the travel advisory for when you come back. The elementary kids have been back full time. Things are going well. Galvin starts next week and the high school starts May 3rd, and they're really optimistic about that. And then just to update you on what I talked about last time, and you mentioned the outdoor dining. Next week, you're going to see the art department students out painting the barriers, which is pretty fantastic. And the library plaza is going to have tables and umbrellas. You can grab some takeout, you can do work, and there's also going to be Adirondack chairs that the Boys and Girls Club are painting for us. So if you see the students out next week, hopefully there's good weather, give them a shout or a honk.
Great. Jen, thank you so much for reminding me of all that. Yeah, it's exciting. It'll be great to see that little splash of color that we might not have had last spring. Otherwise, I think, unless anyone has anything to add, I think we are good. It's nice that we're not going the full 30 minutes, that we have everything in place. Once again, thank our town workers, everyone on this call for all the effort they're doing. This is not a 9-to-5 job by any stretch. It's 24/7, 7 days a week that we've relied on folks. So I want to thank you all for your dedication and your hard work. And otherwise, have a wonderful week. Wakefield, be safe, be smart, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.